Frozen Tundra Football League.
Oh, hi, Sarah. What do you mean Brett doesn't want to talk to me? Just put him on the phone. Dude, stop crying. Stop crying. I can't understand you. Yeah. I know your copy wasn't right. Only week 11 wasn't correct. The rest of it will work. Yeah, you're right. It was fun making some money on some other bets, but nothing's better than taking some money from your friends. All right, just relax. What a punk.
Well, folks, welcome back. Here I sit, another week of the FTFL Weekly Update, and I'm not going to lie. Not quite feeling it today. A little bit off. You know what? But no matter. I will fight through. I will continue to be the dominant force that I have been with or without. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. You know what? Let's start over. Hold on. Welcome to all of my friends and fellow FTFLers. It is I, the host of the longest running weekly episodic fantasy football update show, episode number 80. 80 today. And not only am I the host, I am the owner of that's right, still first place in the North. You can look at the standings like, well, you look like you're tied with Jeff. But go ahead and call Jeff, wish him a happy Thanksgiving, and ask him, hey, Jeff, how many times do you beat Brett this year? It's going to be a long silence on the end of that line. That's right, still first place in the North, the real king of the FTFL, and if you listen closely, sure, it might have a bit of a death metal twinge to it, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs in a fit of rage. However, it's still there. That song in your heart. That's right, boys and girls. It is I, Brett Sieber. Welcome back to the FTFL Weekly Update. Woo! 11 weeks in the books. 2 weeks to go. 2 weeks to go. And this week is a big one. Now, a couple of teams who last week found themselves 2-8 have gone further down the hole. They are completely out of the playoffs. This week, not only will teams be jockeying for playoff position, but there is a game between two teams. Loser goes home. Big implications on the line. While those teams are fighting to get in the playoff, there is one team who is looking at locking in his first round bye as he just designs a masterpiece of a season in which maybe, just maybe, there's been a little help from above. But oh well, we don't need to get into that. Now, if we've got above, there definitely is below, and below is that faulty king of the North. Now, he claims to be king of the North. However, this year, he's 2-2 against teams from the North. The roller coaster ride that is Sid Hagen's 2020 FTFL season continues. If only he'd have ridden Tannehill like he's been riding him all year. Wait. He should have played Tannehill. He didn't. He lost. The quarterback that bit him in the ass, oh boy. Lots of irony in that one against the team he played this week. He lost. This week, also another episode of Who Dis? Who Dis? Now, not necessarily a new player, but maybe a player that's been flying under the radar and is having yet another good fantasy season. On, my friends, to the games. Now, this first game, battle of the first place teams. Now, when you say it that way, you're like, wow, look out, this is Clash of the Titans. But you dig a little deeper, and on paper, this game pitted the highest scoring team in the league against the lowest scoring team in the league. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute, Brett. Did you just say, though, that these were the two first place teams? I did. Thank you very much for listening and paying attention. However, lowest scoring team in the league. Boy, on paper, it's right there in front of you. This one's a home run, slam dunk, no extra assistance required. But I guess that's why we play the games. And boy, oh boy, Matt, what a game that was played this week. The Architect notches a smooth 113.5, his second highest total of the year. Interesting. For me, I drop a dud. 89 points. I did not break the century mark for only the third time in 11 weeks this year. If you're Matt, boy, oh boy, Adam Thielen had himself a day, his best game of the year. 24 points. Carson Wentz, 16. Devontae, best receiver in football. Adams, 15.5. Kansas City defense, 2 points. Matt was a late, last-second interception in that game from fielding his fourth 0 from a defense this year. Still, 2 points really wouldn't matter because my team didn't quite bring it. Aaron Rodgers, 24. Tyler Lockett, 14.5. Mike Evans, who caught yet another touchdown, 10.5 points. Justin Jefferson on my bench, 15.5 points. Going to be a rookie keeper. He currently is the number 16 receiver in all of football. Now, if you remember, last year I kept one DK Metcalf as my rookie receiver. Looks like we have someone who is willing and able to fill those shoes as we head to next year. I fall to 7-4. Matt rises up to 8-3 and is all alone in first place. Now, a team who just a mere 3 weeks ago found himself in a tie for first place at 5-3 has been in a bit of a rough stretch. And no, I'm not talking about his love life. Ryan Deesom's fantasy football team coming in at 5-5, taking on Mana, 3-time Lucky Pants, looking for a 4-time champ. Mana at 6-4. Jeff wins. He's tied for me at first. Ryan wins. He's maybe a little bit closer to making the playoffs. But like I said, Ryan has lost not once, not twice, but three consecutive weeks in a row. Now, this one was one of his better weeks. He's had 103 points, but it could not hold up to Jeff's 120. Justin Herbert is really tearing it up as a rookie quarterback and carrying Jeff's squad, 28 points for him. Robert Woods, another amazing week, 20 points. Pittsburgh's defense, 17. Derrick Henry, in his best performance since the trade, 14.5. DeAndre Hopkins, 4.5 points. You're like, well, what the heck, DeAndre Hopkins? Interesting little pattern here over the last 7 weeks. He's taken a bit of the sit approach to this. 7 weeks ago, 5.5. Week after that, 21. Then it was 5. Then it was 21. Then it was 3.5. Then it was 21.5. This week is 4.5. Whoever's just playing next week, look out. DeAndre Hopkins about to blow it out the box if the trend holds. The trend of losing did hold for Ryan. Of course, Mahomes and Kelsey, as always, led the way, 18 apiece. Tyreek Hill, newcomer to the team, 17.5. He is up to 151.5 on the season. I mention that because in a moment, I'm going to follow up on maybe why Ryan didn't need to acquire Tyreek Hill. Aaron Jones, a smooth dozen. Naheem Hines, 5.5. The picked up, illegally dropped, and then picked up again. Naheem Hines, he was the only one under 8. Now, on Deesom's bench, one of the Who Dis segment, Chase Claypool, had himself 10 points. He's got 113.5 on the season. He is the number 8 receiver in football. Tyreek Hill is the number 2 receiver in football. Now, Deesom did give up a first-round pick to acquire Tyreek Hill. Did he need to? Could he have just played Chase Claypool? You know what? That's an argument for another day. The big decision that still seems to haunt is JaMychal Hasty over Jerick McKinnon. 3 weeks ago, McKinnon would have won you the game. Instead, 3 weeks ago, you found yourself at the start of a 3-game losing streak. And now next week, you play a team who is also 5-6. Loser goes home. And that team that I speak of, the king of the FTFL, coming in at 5-5, taking on team, I swear I'm trying the best I can, Linkowitz at 5-5. This was big for both teams. Win, and you start to control your own destiny, and lose, and all of a sudden now you are at the hands of a few other outside influences. This was a low-scoring affair, a close-scoring affair. It did find John. That's right, John. Even though he traded away Derrick Henry, even though he traded away Tyreek Hill, John is now 6-5 with a 68.5 to 67 victory over Sid's king of a team. Like I mentioned, now Sid is 2-2 against the North this year. Yeah, the king of the North, my right nut. I don't think so, Sid. If you're John, Big Ben came back with 16. Cooper Kupp on a Monday night affair really sealed this deal, 13.5 points. The Polish powerhouse himself, Stephen Gostkowski, with 12 points. Ronald Jones, the second a week after scoring a ton of points on the bench, finds his way in the starting lineup and finds himself providing John with 0 points. Oh, well, Jared Goff on the bench, 24. Didn't matter. If you're Sid, it was Dalvin Cook and then really nothing else. 18.5 for him. Deontay Johnson, in the ongoing battle between him and Julio, continues to pull further in front with 12 points. Calvin Ridley, 8.5. Also in the starting lineup, Matt Ryan. 4 points. Now remember, Matt Ryan was just dropping eggs for John as John's team plummeted, which probably led him to trading away some of these pieces. He gets rid of them. Of course, he blows it out the box. Sid's like, well, I think there's a room on my team. 4 points against his former team. Didn't hurt him. Instead, continued the trend. Hurt Sid. Also, Hayden Hurst, 0 points. Remember, at one point, Sid, I believe, had 4 tight ends on his damn roster. And now we know he just couldn't really find one because 0 points for Hayden Hurst. He only lost by 1.5 points. Anything would have been better than what he got from him. Oh, Tannehill on the bench, 20 points. I'm not a math teacher in Browerville, but 68.5 to 67. I think Tannehill would have made up the difference on that one. All right, we're going to take a break from the games. We're going to bring back a segment that we started earlier this year, and we've been exploring, I guess, some bios of some young players in the league who you may not be familiar with. However, there's a player who has been in the league now since 2013, who I still think flies under the radar quite a bit. I give you who dis. Who dis? On April 10th, 1992, Robert Woods was born. Robert Woods, a name that a lot of you are familiar with, maybe not familiar with the production that he has put forth over his NFL career. Of course, he went to USC, one of those vaunted U.S. receivers, really one of the better U.S. receivers in a long time to come out of that school. Before he got there, though, his junior and senior year of high school, good Lord, combined stats, 147 catches for 2,500 yards. Woo! That is a lot of yardage. And he also played defense. 183 tackles and 15 interceptions. This guy he was all over the ball. Of course, ended up at USC. After that, he was drafted by the Buffalo Bills in the second round of the 2013 draft. And from 2013 to 16, he was a Bill. I think he was brought in some ways to be complimentary to Sammy Watkins. Of course, that never panned out for them. After the 16th season, he joined the Rams. He has been there ever since. Now, this year, Robert Woods is the number 9 receiver in our league. He is 9th. He has 113 points. Now, last year, he was 24th with 131 points. But the year before that, he was the 11th best receiver. 165 points. The year before that, 29th. But the thing is this. As far as a second receiver on a team goes, you could do a lot worse than us. Now, there are some of us in this league who have 2 of the top 4 receivers. Well, we're not talking about those individuals or that amazing owner. No. Right now, if you're Jeff, Robert Woods is your number 2 behind DeAndre Hopkins. And if you're Jeff, you are rapidly closing the gap on that first place team. And if you're Jeff, Robert Woods is a real nice complimentary piece to DeAndre Hopkins, Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, and Derrick Henry and the such. I mean, Jeff's team is really coming together, and to be able to week after week throw Robert Woods in and know you're going to get production, that is a big deal. A round of applause. Robert Woods is a stand-up guy, put yourself together a pretty solid fantasy career, and that has been Who Dis. Who Dis? All right, back to the games. Next up, we have the Radioactive Monkeys, who have won 2 in a row, looking to make it 3 against the DSOM award-winning visitors from Planet B with questionable motives, who, of course, coming into this game, found themselves 2-8. Well, 2-9. Doesn't have the same ring to it. Salty picks up his 3rd consecutive victory. Monkeys 88, Plan B 80. If you're Saltmarsh, Keenan Allen had himself a game, 22 points. Stupid Face Jr. Kyler Murray, 16. Mark Andrews, 14.5, his first double digit in 5 weeks. 5 weeks. Welcome back, Mark Andrews. Chris Godwin, 11.5 points, his third double-digit performance all season. This year, he's been averaging 7.7 points. Last year, almost double that at 13.9. Chris Godwin has been a bit of a letdown this year. However, Saltmarsh has found a way through that. James Robinson and his hot tub with 7 points. And Todd Gurley with a meager half point. Almost cost Salty the game. However, it didn't. If you are Swart, you have put your faith in Kirk Cousins? Oh, criminy. Kirk Cousins. Now, he had 28 points this week, but Kirk Cousins... There's a reason you're 2-9. Kenyon Drake might be a part of that. 12 points for him. Eric Ebron, 10. Julio just starting to show the cracks. He's been an amazing receiver for all these years. I think he's slowing down some. 3 points for him. And Cam Akers on the bench. His first touchdown of the year. Swartz' second-round pick finally gets on the board. Will he keep him? Will he give up a second-round pick for that rookie? Good Lord, if he wants the DSM award next year, I would advise him to do just that. Last game of the week, the Pack Attack coming in at 5-5. Looking to control his own destiny, looking for a win. Destiny, by the can't even freaking talk. Destiny coming in with a perfect opponent in the 2-8 Mixing Cocktails. And again, just like the aforementioned Plan B, Mixing Cocktails are also now 2-9. Because they scored 59 points to the Pack Attack's 91.5. If you are Eric, the Saints defense, that's right, a defense led the way, not stupid-faced Russ Wilson, 19 points. Clyde, and arguably his best game of the season, 16.5 points. Russell, stupid-faced Wilson, only 16, but it was definitely enough. Young Hui Koo kicking the ball for 13 points. If you're Andy, you are now tied, no matter what you do for the rest of the season, with the worst... You are guaranteed to only have, if you win the next two, you'll be 4-9, tied for the worst record after a championship season with only 2 wins. And throw Swart into this, you are still in the running for the worst record in league history. Lamar Jackson, again, continues to just underperform. 12 points for him. Michael Thomas, best game of the year, 10.5 points. Christian Kirk, a little bit of a low week this week with only 4. And, of course, now, if you're Eric, of course, Clyde Edwards-Helaire did have one of his best weeks, but it still wasn't enough to move him not only over the century mark, but within striking range of these other two. Clyde now at 96.5, Aaron Jones 112, James Robinson with 119.5, and Myles Gaskin. You're like, well, Brett, why would you even leave him on the list as Clyde is now pulling away? I'll tell you why. Because Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still averaging 9.7 points a game. Myles Gaskin, 9.9. My boy Miles stays on the list, and Eric continues to look like a fool for drafting Clyde Edwards-Helaire first overall. Is it enough, though, to get him the DSM? I don't know, but this week's stud, dud, and DSM update goes as follows. Adam Thielen, Keenan Allen, 24 points, 22 points respectively in wins for their teams. Big wins for their teams moving as we head towards the playoffs. Dud of the week, I don't know, Matt Ryan, 4 points. Julio Jones, 3 points. Hayden Hurst, 0 points. All of those guys in losing efforts, but I still think the dud of the week is just Andy's team. 59 points, pathetic output, just brutal. Now this week's reason why Adam Swart should win the DSM award, because Kirk Cousins is his quarterback and he drafted Cam Akers in the second round. But I still think Andy's team potentially, or Sid not playing Tannehill in what might prove a very costly error for him. Now, week 12. Like I said, it's some big games. We fight for position, an elimination game, and a battle for the basement. First off, the Architect at 8-3, taking on the Radioactive Monkeys at 7-4. If Adam wins this one, he shares the lead with Matt in first place in the South going into the final week of the season. Hulkamaniac 7-4, taking on Team Linkowitz at 6-5. Now, if John wins this game, he will be tied for first place. Now, John is the only team in the North that has beaten me this year. I have gone 6-0 against the other 3 clowns in the North. John, this is your chance. I mean, unbelievably so. We've watched what your team has done. Here you are on the precipice of first place. I hope that I'm able to shut the door on that. Manamana coming in at 7-4, taking on the Pack Attack at 6-5. If each of them wins this game, they could be looking at a potential, well, Eric, not quite a share, but at 7-5, that much closer to a division crown for him. Lastly, the 2 games that, well, one is the Basement Bowl, but the other one, the big one. Ryan Deesum's fantasy football team. And I'm sure he's bringing with those old, crusty, moldy, smelling of mildew, titties and balls, and taking on the King, both at 5-6. Lose this game 5-7, and you are, for all intents and purposes, out of the playoffs. Whew. Gonna be a big one, boys. And of course, the 2-9 Mix a Cocktail taking on 2-9 Plan B. This is the one loser. Takes control of the first overall selection in the draft and gives himself the best opportunity at tying for the league worst record in a single season. With that, my friends, that is the show. 2 weeks to go. Whew. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you and yours are healthy and well. I am thankful for this league. I am thankful for each and all of you as friends. And I am thankful for the whooping I'm about to put on Big John Linkowitz. Peace! Peace! All right, that's another one in the books. Week 11, man. 2 to go. I got to find that book. I can't trust the book Matt gave me. I got to find that book. All right, well, here's hoping. Wait a minute, what is... Hold on. Unknown? Who is this? Hello? Hold on here. Wait a second. Hold on. What was... Sorry. Excuse me. Who is this? What's going on? Hello?
It's Doc. You got the magazines. I need those back. The chaos is happening.
Wait, well, hold on. Doc, the magazine... What? Wait. Whoa. Is this that weird scientist guy I ran into that one night doing owl stuff?
Yes. The future's in jeopardy. I need that magazine back.
All right. You know what? You're right. I did have it. I had it.
Well, where is it?
Well, okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. I had it. I made a copy of it.
Oh, great. Got a copy?
Well...
No wonder things are so out of control.
Right, and I gave one to one guy that was having trouble with fantasy football, and the copy that I had, well, I've misplaced.
Well, that can't be it. We're out of control. Things are happening. I'm calling for the future, and it's chaos. There's protests. No king of the FTFL. We want them to win. I gotta be incognito. I gotta blend in. Things are crazy here.
What do you mean they're crazy? Like, what year are you calling from?
2035. The FTFL Weekly Update Syndicate is controlling the media market.
Wait, hold on. Back that up. What did you say right there?
The FTFL Weekly Update controls everything.
Whoa.
Decent fantasy football team. Go.
Wait. The FTFL is now in syndication. Get out. My show is in syndication?
Wait, never mind. You didn't hear any of that. We just need to get back to normalcy. 15 of the last, out of the last 10 years, the 4 teams at the bottom of the league have been in the championship game a total of 15 times. Things are out of control. People are protesting and rioting in the streets.
So hold on. So you're saying this is my fault?
Yes, this whole magazine, you ruined everything.
Well, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to fix this now?
You got to get those magazines back. We got to stop things from happening.
You know what? I guess I can try. I know where the one is. I have to look for mine. So.
Mixing cocktails forever. Down with King of the FTFL. Down with Hulkamaniacs.
You know what? Fine. I'll do what I can. I don't know how this is necessarily a bad thing, but whatever. I'll see what I can do. I gotta go.
Do what you can. You have to. Oh, they're rioting. I gotta leave. I'm in trouble.
All right. Bye. So the teams that always won aren't winning anymore. Whatever. Fine. I don't understand where I left it. I don't know who would have taken it. I don't get it. Where could it have gone? Where would I have left it? Who would have touched it? I mean, it's stupid. It's unbelievable. I mean, I gotta find it. I need it back. mean, the only person that has seen this, only one that had it, nobody was around it. Wait. Hold on. Last person I was around when I had it. He's been on a bit of a winning streak, hasn't he? Get it. Gosh, dude.